All right. Okay. So
This meeting is being recorded.
okay. Yeah. So essentially, today we just do the routing lab. So we didn't do it last week. So today we just dedicated this lecture just for lab. Let's see, I have posted the lab, so make sure you the student can get access to it. So let me know if you see it. Put in a chat if you can see it. I'll try to. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we've got the Trace Lab 10 Route 1.
All right, that's good. So let me see here. Okay, so that's good. Student Nguyễn Duy said that he can see it. So okay. So good. Today we can just do the lab for the routing portion that essentially we covered last week, right? So we last week we did the routing overview and then the global route. So today we're gonna just do look at that, the lab for the routing portion, and then next lecture gonna be detail route. So here, so you can do it, with me. You don't have to listen to. Let's see, try. So this is where the lab 10 data located. So it's follow the same convention that it's gonna be under Trisomy labs and then lab 10 route 1. So the main one here is I have the CTS op, right? So this essentially is just a continuation of the CTS lab, right? So but have helped you did the CTS, went through all the different steps to create essentially a post optimization for the CTS. So what we try to do today is take that CTS, optimize, and then try to do routing on it. So, okay. So that's the data and how it's organized. same convention that we had before. So, essentially you copy the data over to your workspace. So let's do that. And then just change to the run directory. Okay. So let's see. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. So network is very slow for me. So as you can see here, I'm under my works directory. Oh, render, okay. And I can start Innovus. So let's do that. And yeah, it's pretty slow. Can't even type. Yeah, network is so slow. Yeah, we just give it the name. Round 1 log. Yeah, you can run along with me as well. You don't have to wait for me. So we're just waiting for the Innovus windows to be okay. Okay, so let's go back to the route here. So what we try to do is, so essentially we did step 1, 2, and 3, right? So we copy the data over, we go to the run directory, and we start Innovus. Okay. So that's a run route 1 tickle. So you can look at that. We can look at that together. So let's see here. Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to share one more screen. Okay. Okay, so here. So this is the lab 10 route 1 tickle. Yeah, I mean, we can look at this, so what I'm trying to do here is essentially restore the CTS op data, right? So I can just do from here. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's so slow. So read DB. So that's it. Essentially, we just reading in the optimized CTS database. So the student, are you guys running it right now, or you just following what I'm doing? I think you can do essentially run it along with me, so you don't have to wait. Okay, so let's see here. What's what I'm trying to do? So we restore the CTS DB. Okay, and that's what we have. So I think it's good practice. Let's say somebody asks you to do routing. From previous saved database. I think it's good to kind of like review the data, right? So that's why I try to see here, just like look at the congestion, right? Just assume that somebody did the CTS. So it's good that we look at the data and make sure it's what we expect, right? And then so what we have here, we can look at the congestion report, and we can do multiple things, right? Like timing as well. But for now, just just do the just do report congestion, and there's two different option we can do. We can do overflow, and I think the numbers should be pretty good. Right, as here we have the horizontal, vertical, just like one of them. So practically is clean, right? So it's 0%. And if we want, we can do the yep. So you can see here, it's practically nothing. So and if we want, we can do time design. I don't have it, but I think it's good to do that as well. because this is CTS, we're gonna do post CTS. Port prefix. Yeah, Dave, I'm not quite sure how, but whenever somebody try to get in, it's essentially it's interrupt my session.
When they're trying to get into the class, the Zoom class, or
Yes. It just pop up something that I need to like admit that student, and it essentially stop what I'm doing. So it's refocus. I think that's why.
I wonder if I remove you from being co-host, you should still be able to present. I'm going to try that real quickly to make sure.
I think that's fine. Yeah.
All right, looks like you're still presenting, but you're no longer co-host. You shouldn't see the student admissions.
Okay, thank you. So temp design, post CTS, report prefix. I'll just give it some name here. And set up to report there. Yeah, something like that. So just want to verify the congestion is good, timing is good, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, and something you can notice here, sometimes it's helpful to look at the log file. Notice that SIOP setting is SIOP, right? So timing good, setup mode. I can do the same for whole. Yeah, and if you notice, right, the density is the density number and the overflow. So based on what we learned so far, this is very good. We should not have any trouble routing it. So let's review the data. Let's see. Try to
Hey, Ethan, quick questions. Did you use the DB from PostCTS?
Right. So essentially, you didn't save a DB in your lab, so very much I have to redo your lab to create this DB. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I think it's good to save it out. So the next time we don't have to rerun the whole lab again just to get the DB. Yeah.
It should be similar. Okay.
Okay. Just want to review. So I'm going to go to my run directory here. So because I specified the report, right? So I should have the report here. And I have existing report, but so ignore those routing report for now. But as you can see here, so if you look for post CTS, see, these are the one that we just created, right? So you can see here, I have post CTS set up and post CTS whole, right? So if we want, we can just click on one of these. essentially it's identical what we see here, right? So that's so just sometimes you want to verify what you're doing and make sure it's produced. So that's the setup. This is the whole. So, yep. So very much setup clean and whole clean, right? So that's what we want. Okay. So that's, I think it's good practice, right? To verify the data coming in. So here's just a snapshot. Okay. So another thing is, I think I mentioned in the lecture last week that by default, the tool doesn't run SI Riven and timing Riven, right? So we wanna look at some of the attribute and see if that's the case, right? So yeah, text lag is so crazy. Get DB route because we already know the attribute. So but so we can do give it something to look for. So as you can see here, all of these by default as fault, right? So route with ECO fault. But the one that we care about for right now is SI and timing, right? So one is timing Riven, and the other one is the SI. So and okay, so what we want to do next? So we verify that it's fault. So routing step is very straightforward, right? So we can either do the pop-up. So let's try that. We can do the menu here. You go to the route on the top menu, click on route.
Hey, Tian, can you hear me?
Yes.
So are you suggesting the first route will be not time driven?
So this is the lab, right? So I want to show the student you're gonna run with timing Riven and SI, and then we can compare, right? So
Okay.
and because this design is so easy, it's practically it's not gonna make any difference. But I just want to give them option, right? So
But there's no option though, because in the real design, if you run without timing, then you mess up the database. So you have to discard that database. So we never run without timing. We run with timing first, without SI, and then turn on SI. But we never run without timing driven. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
you
that
can
never.
run you
Right.
can run global route without timing Riven and SI Riven. That's fine, yeah. But detail route certainly you want to run with timing Riven, right?
Okay.
Great, quite a bit.
So
There you go.
Yeah, but more importantly, it will
right.
it will put
But
the
for
database at a very bad. So you can try and see it, but you don't save the database. You want to start with the timing driven database, right? Because you're gonna mess up everything because you're going to yeah. Anyway, there you go ahead.
Right. For this design, it's not gonna make any difference, right? Yeah. So go here, go to nano route and route. So over here, you can see practically all these important setting is gonna available over here as well, right? So you have all these, so you can go here and check, or you can run a command. So either way, but I want to show. So this one, because we want to run with the default. So we just go here, verify the fixed antenna. That's not important right now, but just leave it like that and then just hit OK. So it's going to take some time to run. So the student, make sure you do it along as well. Oh, by the way, but when it's running, did you show the student how to look at the congestion in
Yes.
Innovus?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go over it again if you like. Next slide. Previous slide.
So what we do it here, actually we run combine global and detail together, right? So
Cảm ơn anh. Anh chị nhé. Nhiều rồi. Ngày xưa tông teo lắm.
Tan, we have a question that's just come in asking, what is SI driven?
especially the crosstalk, right? So
SI stands for signal integrity. So it's related to crosstalk induced delay degradation.
right.
Yeah, in my side in CTS we did talk about crosstalk. What is crosstalk? But you may want to tie that to SI. What how does that impact? So eventually it's the same thing. But right. So I think the student you may want to explain again. The student may get confused between SI and crosstalk. It's the same.
Yeah, I don't think, because this design, because you look at the density and the presented in this lab at all. So for much gelling, that's like the real chip, right? When we try to push it, then yeah, SI gonna show up.
Yeah, perhaps I can re-explain again so to make sure the student knows. So basically, as explained before, because of crosstalk, maybe I just back annotate. You see, when the signal come up or go down, right? but because of crosstalk, it will couple something in and just have a dip and go up. So as a result, the delay is kind of get degraded. So it's called crosstalk induced delay degradation, meaning that you have extra delays because of crosstalk. Likewise here, it will have a bump. So when the switch point becomes why when you close timing, you need to make sure that you count the effect of crosstalk because this is reality, right? This is reality. So so basically, for very tough design, sometimes a lot of times this is what I do. Not sure if Tien or but I close timing without crosstalk first because I divide and conquer. So that means that you turn SI off, you do loops, you try to fix timing multiple times because for challenging design, it's not just an automation, it's not just one pass. So after that, I turn on crosstalk, I will see degradation and I do spinning again, but this time it works on just crosstalk induced. So that's why you see all the switches turn on, turn off. Yeah. Just a refresh memory. We talked about this already.
Right.
I explain that remind the student how to share costs. Let me have this. Yeah. Let me show the slide again. Perhaps and Phil can just go over it again. No, I can go. It doesn't matter. Okay. You should see the slide on the crosstalk. Go ahead, Phil. You want to go ahead and explain to the students?
Go ahead, but please explain to them.
Yeah, so we talk about this in terms of the crosstalk, right? It's a basically unwanted effect between the coupling between the two proximity signals, right? What we call aggressor, which is what the signal that put impact has a negative impact on the victim, which change the direction of the victims, right? So in the ideal situations, you can see this is the aggressor is the victim, right? But with crosstalk, you can see this switch opposite. This is speed up, right? Actually impact the victim. So this is result. This is result because of like the aggressor sometimes is a big buffer, big driver, right? So it's pulling it up. This is the case when it's speed up, right? You can also slow down, right? When it's switch opposite, so you can see it slow down the victim. So you can see how it impact the delay, right? Your transition or your get slow down, speed up. So it in turn you're going to impact the downstream in terms of the delay. So it can speed up or slow down, depends on the directions, right? And also it can impact across glitches, right? Glitch is basically just a slight glitch up and down because of the aggressor. This is on the victim. The glitches, most of the time we don't care about it if there's not properly downstream, meaning that if it's actually registered at the next logic downstream, but if it's just temporary go away, then we don't care. It doesn't impact anything. But if it actually got properly and change the behavior of the downstream logic that's down here, then we do care because it could alter the functionalities.
Yeah, that's a threshold, right? So the tool actually check for it, right? That's if the glitch is over a certain threshold, then you have to
Yes.
fix them.
So this is when we talk about crosstalk. When in the routing, right, you talk about SI. SI is signal integrity. This is related to how the signal that changes get impacted by the proximity, the two the crosstalk between the aggressor and the victims. This is basically the impact of on the routing.
Yeah, so the signal integrity means that this is a clean signal. This is a clean signal. This is a signal with integrity problems, right? That's why the term integrity. So I want to add one more thing, or maybe in the form of a question. And so, can someone tell me before the detail route, can you look at crosstalk? Can you, or why not? You can yeah, raise your hand and talk. It's easier. Before detail route, can you turn crosstalk on and see the impact of it to the delays? Can you or can you not? And why? Raise your hand if you say we cannot. I don't see anything, so I guess nobody raised their hand. Okay, the answer is no, you cannot. The reason being this coupling cap. Okay, crosstalk is only seeing, there's no coupling cap that you can extract. So because the coupling caps depend on the layers, right? When you just have things running parallel or even crossing the coupling caps between the two signals is not very much. But if you have a signal that goes, in parallel for a long distance, and this coupling cap become a problem. So the point being, all these things doesn't happen on every signal, but it happens only a small set of signals. But if the more condensed or more high speed and strong aggressors, the more you have. So the magnitude of the crosstalk induced problems depends on the design. Like Tien say, this design probably you don't see a lot, but that's why crosstalk is have to do it, have to be an incremental fix because of the number of violation, and also because as a pre-detail route. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so let me elaborate on the word SI driven. So this is crosstalk, right? Or SI driven meaning that when the router actually route is aware of the crosstalk between the two, so it'll space the signal apart so that avoid the coupling caps. Okay, so just like timing driven, you're aware of timing, make sure timing met. So this is when it do SI driven, it's aware of this crosstalk and it will spaces apart to avoid these coupling effect impact that we see here, either slow up or speed, either speed up or slow down if we turn it on. But unfortunately, in this lab, it's not congested, so where you don't see this impact. Okay, so that's what SI driven means. I mean, it's SI aware or crosstalk aware. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to add to that too. So typically you do everything and you close timing, and when you see you space it apart to what? To minimize this coupling. And you can also reduce the aggressor size if you don't need that speed, or you can increase the strength of the victim. But those are incremental changes that the router and the tool will do, right? Because if you try to do this and you try to close timing, everything is so many different things that you throw at the tool. It for easy design it will do it, but for tough design you have to do step by step.
Yeah, and also this I think on the larger geometry node, I believe it's 100 and I believe it's 120 above. You usually don't see the impact of SI much at all. As you get lower in a lower node, you get more impact because the transistors are much smaller. Okay, so you see a lot more SI impact on a small geometry. Okay, then I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can have the screen back.
Okay, so I hope it's finished. Actually, there's another. Is there another question in the chat?
Yes, Ngatai and Ho and Wa, I probably apologize for the pronunciation, says, I know there is crosstalk between parallel wires, but is there crosstalk between metal layers?
You want me to answer that or?
Well,
So
I
yeah,
mean that's
for the smaller
that's
geometry, the impact is on 4-directional. So not just a parallel. You get more in parallel, but you also get some on the above and below. Okay, but there's a dielectric between, but you'll get some impact on low geometry node.
yeah. I mean, if you think it's as a capacitor, right? So then it's yeah. Whenever there's charge, right, being moved around, then it's gonna affecting the other one. So it's 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 when you have long wire running parallel, right? That's so you see that the effect is much more. But yeah, I mean that's why sometimes we have to on a critical signal, right? You shield you do the shielding on the same layer, and then you do it on the layer above it and the layer below it, right? So it's like a conduit, right? So you want to prevent the crosstalk from left, right, top, and bottom, right?
So the
But
good news is you don't have to fix all these by hands because the tool will do it for you. Yeah, but you need to understand uh, things that have an impact, but the tool will do all these fixing for you.
okay, so let me try to share
So
my
sorry, yeah,
screen
it does
again.
it fixing for you, but you still need to understand the concept so that if something's go wrong, the tool doesn't fix you, so you be able to diagnose the problem and then figure out how to fix it manually if the tool can't fix it. So you have to still understand
Yeah,
the concept. Yeah.
right. That's what I say.
Give me a second here. I try to share multiple screen. Okay, let's hear. That's how to see. Okay, so we back. Let's see what we got here. Just try to walk through the things that the router tries to do, right? So sometimes it's very useful to like, especially when you're new, you try to learn the tool behavior, right? It's good to look at the log file because uh, to try to write out the very important information, right? It's useful information. That's the purpose of the log file. Try to tell you things, right? That if something go wrong, you can go back and say, they kind of like warning, right? Say, oh, you better look at this or something not quite right. So um, let's see. So it's give you a lot of how many micron square micron of wire been used. And the veer. So tell you how many like single cut, multi cut. So not a whole lot here, which we're gonna go and then revisit this later in after the post route, right? So and this tell you how many violations. So at this point, there's 11 violations, right? DRC. So and it's break down into layers. So Yeah, and as expected, it try to do the multiple iteration, try to get better and better, right? So here we go. One thing is, right, I think we Kali mentioned is they try to do the wide spreading, right? So essentially spacing the wire. Um, so the number of BSC is very much constant, 11, 12. So they tell you how fast the time it took, all this memory, all these statistic. So we can look at the same thing, right? We try to, let's see what I have here. So we look at this. Yeah, I just want to mention that, yeah, if you don't want to do the menu interactively, you can just run the command, right? Route design, global detail. So it has the same effect. So let's look at the congestion and timing report. Hold on, let me. I'm not quite sure where's my so slow today. So here you can see that. Wow, we just run these two. So instead of typing. Students, are you running as well? Yeah, I think when we do the routing, it does take some time to run. So I think it's good that you kind of like do it along. I think that's better instead of waiting.
But I don't think all of them can get onto the cloud at once. Right?
Oh,
They have to
okay.
schedule. Right? Yeah.
Oh, I see. For me today.
Yeah. One thing you could run before, and then you just load, show the commands, and then you load the data. Otherwise, it's gonna be it's for the future maybe.
Yeah, I do have the data, but it's just want to show them interactively how it. Okay, so we can look at the We can scroll it up here. Let's see. So that's the whole. So we do have one violation. Is a 4 picosecond. So practically that's clean. And setup, we have a positive of 72 picosecond. So
Hey, Tim. I want to ask the student a question. So remember how to fix hole? What do? You have hole. You had to fix this. Can you chime in on the chat? How would you go fix about this manually? What
yeah,
would you do?
I can pull up the report as well.
Let's say that your design is about done, and this is the only timing violation that you have, which you have to fix all the hole, right? So let's say you don't want to. I mean, at the end, you don't want the tool to chew on this, so you just want to go fix it manually, just one path. How will you go about fixing it? Which is in real design, this is what we normally do. We don't want the tool to chew on it. We have like a few paths. We just go fix it manually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
the
how-
top one is the
how do
whole
you
here. We do
go-
have
Yeah. How do you go
-4.
about finding this path? First of all, how do you know which path? This is summary. How do you know which path, and then how you go about fixing it? Anybody know?
So here, so if you want, you can look at so that's the summary report. And if you look at the timely report, that's an old report, right? So essentially, all the violation will be in here. So I think we went to this a long time ago, but how to read a timely report, right? So here,
Did anybody on the chat chime in?
stop boy. This is scan clock. Uh, nothing yet. So this ERS bus CTS trial. So yeah, as see here in part 2, we met. We're meeting timing, so that's only one violation. So this is from so this is an IO pad. From a scan clock. Scan clock, yeah. Anybody answer yet? No.
We've had one student offered that we open the timing debug analysis in the GUI to check the violated path as a solution.
Yeah, that's essentially doing the same thing that we doing, but if you knew, I think that's kind of like helpful, right? So it's help you to visualize it a little bit easier. Um,
Yeah, so that's one way of doing graphically, but that's correct. But the other way is, right, you look at the time report, you see which group it is in, and you go to the report directories and pull up that groups. And then you see the corresponding path. Okay, you go ahead and pull up that path and see if the student know how to fix it.
you want to do the timing?
Yeah, pull up
Debug?
the whole no, just the whole the report in the report dirt, right? Pull up that path in that timing group and see if the student know how to fix it.
Right here.
Oh, okay. So how do we fix whole? What is the whole checking? What is the whole checking? How do you fix whole? You guys need to know this because it's going to be only fine exams. This is the fundamentals. You should know it by now.
Did we cover it
Yes,
in CTS?
we code it in CTS, correct?
Okay.
We talked about whole time and how to fix whole time and positive skew and negative skew and useful skew. How are those helpful? So student, anybody at all? Maybe we need to pull up those slides and go over it again if we have time. Do we have time?
Um, we can take a break and then
Okay.
after the break, is that
Yeah, it's
10
almost
o'clock?
10. Maybe we
Yeah,
could
we
go
can take
over
5-minute
that
breaks
one more
and then
time to set up and how to fix it, so the student kind of remember.
okay.
I'll pull up the slide after the meeting. Yep.
So Dave, 5-minute break.
All right, I'll take control of the screen and start the 5-minute break. We'll be back at 5 after the hour.
All right, thank you. Okay, are we back?
Yeah. Hey, Tian, can I mention just an update from NIC about the scholarship just quickly,
Oh,
maybe
sure.
30 seconds, right? So mọi người thì Nguyễn Khánh Linh ở NIC có gọi cho tôi cũng cách đây cũng khá lâu ngay sau khi mà cái đợt mà phỏng vấn thì mọi người cũng Nguyễn Khánh Linh cũng nói là chia sẻ là tin vui là những người mà ứng viên từ lớp học PD1 của Trasome là được đánh giá rất cao bởi những người phỏng vấn. Có người có được điểm 4/5 và ngay cả 5/5 thì làm cũng tin rất là vui cho cái nhóm dạng huấn này và cũng cho cái lớp học này. Thì tôi cũng muốn chia sẻ cảm ơn những ứng viên cho cái chương trình này đã làm cho cái lớp học này được tự hào. Xin cảm ơn. Hy vọng trong tương lai sẽ có được người được nhận học bổng. Mà thì tôi thì cũng không biết cái tin là bao giờ người ta sẽ tuyên bố kết quả rồi gì hết, nhưng mà khi mà nghe Nguyễn Khánh Linh nói như vậy thì tôi cũng rất vui. Xin hết.
Okay, thank you, Drew. That's pretty good news. So they do learn something, right?
I hope it's from maybe it's from them. We didn't teach them anything. They just knew already. But regardless, I really was very happy to hear that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, if they knew ahead of time, unless we didn't mess them up. So okay, but so you
That's
were
true.
mentioning that you wanna review the whole fixing slide again. Oh, he's off. Okay, let me see.
No, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear
Okay.
me? Let me share. Can you guys see my screen now? Or
It's coming.
Nope, we don't see your screen yet.
share screen 2.
Now it's coming up. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the slides in CTS, right? This just we went over the definition. So setup time is on a slow corner, right? Setup time is the amount of time input sequence that must be stable before the active edge. So basically here, the data has to be stable before the active edge, right? So this is the definition, right? We talk about this, and also we talk about full time, which is the data must be stable after the active edge, right? So it has to hold so long. So this is opposite up, right? So we talk about the definition of it. And then we also talk about setup timing check, right? For setup time, we check a max delay, right? You can see here, remember we went over this, the cycle on. So if you imagine here, we have a setup time, the data here cannot change within this window, right? If it changed within this window, it's violated. So what do you need to do? Do you need to slow the data down or speed up the data for it to violate? So the data, just so the data are right within this window. So violate at time, like let's say 1 picosecond, right? What do you need to do do you need to speed up the data or slow the data for it to meet up the setup requirements, right? So this is the max delay. So if the data is violated, it has to get stable before it can change before this. So we need to speed up the data so it can change here. So move it up here so the signal change here, then be outside, it'll be faster than the window. So it's gonna make it pass, right? So you need to speed up the data path on the setup check, right? You can see here the setup slack, right? Setup after launch. So the cycle here, if you reduce this is the cycle time, and then the caption line, this is TPD, right? Minus TP. If the propagation delay is large, it's going to cost you more negative. So you need to reduce its number negative, right? So you need to speed up the data path. And opposite, right? Opposite whole time, like you can see here, the whole slack is clock to Q plus charger is going to help the whole slack. So you can think of here, you can see the whole check, right? It has to be stable so long. It's a minimum check, minimum delay check. So it has to hold so long so that it be outside of this whole check window. So let's say you violate holds right here, right? So what do you need to do to fix the hole? Let's say you violate by the data arrived too early at 1 nanosecond, and you need it to be pushed out here, right? So you if it violate by 1 nanosecond, you need to add 1 nanosecond. So add the delay to it so that you push the data out here, so that it can pass. So for hole, we fix hole, we add delay, slow down the data, right? To fix hole. It's opposite setup. Setup, we want to speed up the data, right? The complete opposite. So to fix delay, for example, he's got 4 picosecond, right? To fix that path, you push out the data chain out here, so then you pass the hole.
So, but there are a couple of comments by Lê Minh Hoàng and Nguyễn Lê Minh in the chat. You want to address them?
Okay, we use up design posted incremental report to fix that. Okay, that is correct. Yes, that is the way you control the tool, tell the tool how to fix that. That is correct. My question was, how do you fix it manually? Let's say at the very end, in terms of concept, you're correctly in terms of controlling the tool and get the tool to fix it automatically. That's correct. But my question is more of a concept. How would you fix it manually? Okay. So you need to understand how to fix it manually. So Lê Minh Hoàng is correct in terms of how to fix that. Get the tool to drive the tool. Okay. And then Lemon say we can fix whole time at level adjustment, FF and cell relocations. Well, that is for that's the level adjustment and cell locations. That is more of a CTS optimization strategy. That is when the tool actually the CTS tool used to build the clock tree, right? Those are techniques that actually the CTS tool used to balance the inserting lay and the skew. Those are the techniques that actually you kind of get it mixed up between timing ops versus CTS ops in terms of techniques that the tool use. So level adjustment and cell relocation is applicable to the CTS methodology, how it used to balance the insertion lay and balance the skew. Okay, so
Right. So just
yeah.
okay. So I think Lê Minh Hoàng, I think his comment is correct. You just want to mention that we pass CTS, right? So we have to do the post route optimization, not CTS. But the idea is the same, right? So you do the post route, post CTS optimization. We have to do the post route optimization. Yeah. So the idea is that the tool has that capability. So but was trying to get at right. So essentially, when you have setup violation, that means your data is too slow, right? So you have to speed it up, and
yes,
or delay the clock, right? So either way, so the last thing you want to do is touch the clock. So usually you look at the data first, right? The first priority is look at the data, because as soon as you touch the clock, you're gonna be touching a very sensitive network, right? So in this case, we have hole violation, right? That's mean that the data path is too fast, so we have to slow it down, right? So
yes. So if you touch the clock, because the clock to drive a bunch of other flops, it's going to impact. You might mess up the other data path, right? You don't want to do that. So you want first option is you want to touch only that path that has violation, which is the data path, and not the clock path, because the clock path impact a bunch of other things like you said, right? So Vũ Quang
Yeah,
Minh,
you addressing Vũ Văn Quang Minh, right? Yeah.
yeah, yes. And then go
And
ahead.
Hào say something.
Yeah, can you give an example of tick command inside buffers? Dang, you're there. You can
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
uh yeah
So let me see. Oh,
so
so I'll get my screen back.
yes. So let me
So
stop
while
sharing.
Thieng is looking at, I want to add to what Vũ Quang Minh said. Yeah, what Bạch said is critically important when, unless that clock buffer, that clock path is only affecting your local, uh, um, path. You don't want to mess with the clocks. After the CTS, you don't want to mess with the clock because that will complicate a lot of things. So you want to fix on the data path. You don't want to mess with clock path. So I saw a couple of likes, but that's a no-no unless, like I said, you only have one path. This clock only driving this particular timing path and no relations to scan and all sort of complication of inter relationship between clock different paths. So you don't want to mess with clocks. Typically, after I don't know if Bud mentioned it, after the CTS, all the clock and possibly flip flops, all the locations are not movable. Maybe flip flops can move a little bit, but clock, they typically just stay fixed because of the skew balancing and everything. So you don't want to play with the clocks after CTS.
So I'm going to try to share my screen again. Yeah, it was timeout. I think that's the timeout of like 10 minutes or something. Let's see. Okay. So I think that's what question how to do the buffer insertion,
buffer.
right? So so essentially we try to get into, let's say just pretend that we try to do an ECO on this one, right? So so look at the timing pad again. So you look, essentially this is the data pad, and it's, I think when you do ECO, it's very important that you look at the fan out, right? So that's, but we're saying that the idea is that we want to delay this data pad, the D pin, right? So one way we can do is say we look at the D pin and we essentially look, we're walking backward, right? So the D pin, and then say, so we can add a buffer right here, right in front of the D pin, right? And you look at the fan out. The fan out is a 1. That means this NAND gate has just drive directly to the flip flop, right? So that's gonna have the minimal effect on any very much anything, right? So because it, right, it doesn't affect any other NAND at all. That's and then
Hey,
and
Tian, do we cover ECO in the basic class, or is that an advanced feature?
that's advanced.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, maybe we just defer to advanced because otherwise it's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff with ECO.
Right. It
Yeah,
just
I don't know if we have enough time for it.
okay. So
yeah,
let's see, what time is it? 19. Okay. So, but
you
I
can
just want to give
yeah.
him some. Right. I mean,
Just show them, just do a man on ECO add repeater, and they can look it up how to do it. Just man ECO repeater, it'll show you everything on it. I mean, that's the manual, that's the tickle command. That's what he's asking for. Just do a man on ECO add buffer, ECO add repeater,
right.
and it will show them exactly. Um, that is a command to add a single multiple
Right.
buffer on a NAND.
Yeah, and Gotan, how just my recommendation, yeah, what only if you bore and master everything. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little bit too much for the
Right.
fundamental class.
So the idea is, I mean, just forget about the syntax, right? Essentially, you want to insert a buffer to that D pin, right? So if you want to look up something, as but we're saying something to do with repeater, you can do this. And it should list out all the command. So ECO add repeater, right? So
So anytime you change something, design, it's called ECO, right? We talk about the initial change order, what that means. So
Gotan, how say, I thought we're gonna need that technique in the upcoming project. I think via your comment, but no, I don't think we're gonna ask about ECO and all. It's a lot of stuff that we're teaching in the first class. So I don't want to complicate things by
no,
yeah. Well,
yeah, what I mean is how to fix a hole, right? But not particular the actual command in term concept. So we taught you the concept, how to fix hole in term, okay, it's a mini delay. To fix hole, you delay the data concept wise, and not the tick command, which we have not taught you how to do ECO or to fix it manually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
it's a
So
different-
Ngô Thái and Hoa Hao, it's going to be in the written test or something because it's important that we know what the tool does instead of just run the command. So what but try to tell you is that just understand what it does fundamentally or on the from the theory point of view so that you know what the tool does, but no, we're not going to ask you to do it in the
right,
script.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because in this symbol design, it's kind of like symbol, right? You can look at it and you more likely you add a buffer and then it's the affect anything. But in a real chip, you have to look at so many things before you make a change, right? Because it may fix its whole time, but then you have to look at the setup time, right? So many things. But for this ECO add repeater, yeah, that's what it does, right? Say add a single buffer or essentially a pair of inverter, right? Essentially the same thing, right? So, okay. So let's go back. What do we try to do? So in this case, if we want, we can run the post optimization, right? Which I think we're gonna cover later on. So it's similar to we expect the router gonna route cleanly because the first time, because there's always a trade-off, right? So it's gonna route it, and then if needed, you do the post optimization. So we just did I think the default. So now I think reduce that 1 to 6, essentially reloading the design, and then we're gonna do the timing ribbon, right? So potentially I can save out a previous design, or I can just reload the design here. Actually, that was so clear. I think that's that reset design, I believe. I think the best way is to get out and get back in, but I'm just being
Just
lazy here.
reload the post CTS. But you
Right.
seem to list it reverse, right? You want to do timing driven first and then turn on SI, right?
No, you can do both. Yeah, actually, global, you can do SI with global route as well. Yeah.
Global SI
Yes.
with global.
Yeah. These new router, they can do very good estimation, right? So because usually if you do it uh, uh, detail, it's a little bit too late.
But I don't understand that SI first and timing driven next. I don't understand that flow.
What flow? I'm just showing them that's two way of doing run. Two separate
okay.
run. Yeah, it
Okay.
has nothing to do with the order, right? That's why we're
Okay.
doing it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
So I'm just reloading the CTS again. So where must see the fresh database again, and we can go in here. So instead of running the default, we're gonna check a few boxes and then we run it, right? So or we can do it here. Let's try do a command. So as before, just double check. This is an attribute, so we can change the attribute, right? By let's say, okay, now I want to run with SI. You change it to the value that you want. Come on. Yeah, so slow is hard. Sorry for the typo. Then you can good practice. Sometimes you wanna double check because sometimes you run a certain command and it takes like overnight, right? So just spend extra a minute or so, make sure the setup is correct before you run the command. So here, as we want to set those two values to be true, right? Then we do route design, global detail. So essentially, it's a combined route. What they call as like a super command, right? So it do Yeah. Sometimes being try to do it safe, sometimes it's no good. So apparently when I tried to reset the design, reloading, the design was not loaded cleanly. So it's corrupted. So it should not happen, but so just good practice. We make it well two or 1B or something. Okay. So we don't override. I don't think it's override, but it's good to give it a different name. So you have to I must redo all the step again, loading and then setting up the timing and SI ribbon. I hope this is gonna go through. Yeah, when it's running, I'll look at the, we can compare the congestion, I think, the initial congestion and then the one that we have so far, right? So we look at the, where is it? Only I didn't write. Did I put it here? Oh boy, I didn't do it. Let's see. You can look at the log. Okay, so we didn't write into a file. That's why I didn't see it. Okay. Yeah, this should take. Yeah, last time it took like 7 minutes, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's see. Yeah, keep it here. So we're gonna write congestion at the route and see. Yeah. Maybe I have a typo in my ticker script. Probably that's why it didn't work. Oh, I think I know what happened. Okay. $22 violation. So when we're waiting, we can look at what we have before. Let's see. This one. So 3582. So that's another thing you want to do if you present it with a challenging design. You want to try different method, right? And then you want to look and see, compare um, different run and look at, pay attention to these different metrics, see whether it, the tool doing. Sorry about that. I don't know what did I hit. Hold on. I don't know what happens. I have to stop sharing. Okay, sorry. I'll share it again. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so 42 so far, almost the same. 42, 80, 72, 84. Right. The other one is
Hey, Tan,
yes.
are you gonna show them how to use a Violent browser and go to the ERC and so on? Or is that part of?
Not
Okay.
really after the detail route. Yeah, we can look at some of the DLC here as well. Today, I just want to show them different way to run the route right now. Yeah,
Okay, so you're gonna plan to do that in the next session?
detail route. Yeah,
Okay,
probably after the next one. Yeah,
I see.
because we do have detailed route, and then after that we have right. Essentially, we have 3 more sessions for detailed route, right? And then we have another week for the export data. So we do have time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's important in terms of if they have a few DRC left in the design, how to look about how to manually fix it and whatnot, right? To close close the routing.
Yeah, it's running now, so I can. So total 1. So let's go down to 1. Oh, this is your antenna. Okay. Look like we have 0 DSC. So if we look at last one, DSC violation. I don't know what's going on with my. So last time we back and forth, but it looked like the final one was 12, right? So the run that we have so far Look like it's clean. Yep. Yeah, these bullies should be very similar. So,
So by the way, while you waiting for this, just want to add quickly, I just added the user guide for Innoverse version 22. So it is going to be useful for you as you go through the final project. So I just added that supplemental for your references.
for the student, right, Phil?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, for the students.
Okay.
Just,
So,
So students, you will find the user guide very, very helpful. It contains everything you need to know on different steps. So
okay.
it's more of your Bible. Yeah.
So it look like the run with the SI and timing look a little bit cleaner. So no DSC. Is that done? Let me see. So it's done. So I want to look at the just right out of timing, and then we should be good to go. See. So we just essentially we did this, right? So gonna run this to make sure I got it right. People congestion overflow. Okay. Okay. So and then we're gonna do the timing. Make sure I got this one. Okay, I think we're done with the setup. Yeah, it's good to pay attention here, right? So we do have SI on here, and we run with real parasitic here, and with the OCV. So and you can see here for the SI, it's do multiple optimization. So okay, so whole time clean. Ta-da. Let's see. And setup clean. So the point is, even for this design, right? Very much, the default is very much clean except for that -4 picosecond. You turn it on, and it's make a big difference. So let's look at. I think we do have time. Yeah, we have a few minutes, so we can just compare the data quickly here. So I'm gonna look at. So we have now. Make this bigger. So I'm gonna look just for the summary for now. So we have the browse setup default summary. So down here we should have the SI timing ribbon summary. So very much identical, right? It's like 5 picosecond better, right? So yeah, practically the same. Okay, for the whole time. As we look at before, is -4 picosecond. And for the latest run here with SI and timing ribbon routing, it's clean, right? So it did get better, right? So how about congestion? I think I didn't do the congestion, but we can look at the congestion. Yeah, I didn't do the first one correctly, but we can look at this one and then we can compare with the route congestion. Do we do the overflow? Yeah, we did the overflow. Everything 0. And then look at the CTS. Oh, the CTS is in the log file. Okay, so it did get better as well. So we did have some 4 overflow, right? So the latest one is completely gone. So that's how you go about doing it, right? So this is just showing you how to run the command, and then you can turn on, turn off certain option, depend on the result, right? And as you can see, even with this small test case, and then actually one more thing I want to look at is the runtime, right? Because what's the I expect the timing revenge should time design. That's what I don't want. Okay, let's see. Okay, just look at the latest one here. Yeah, I expect the last run to take longer. Let's see. Okay. So this. Okay, so route design took 30 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay, so look at what route design.
So you have 2 minutes.
Time. Okay, so yep. So the first one, the default without timing and SI driven, it took 9 minutes, 21 seconds, and when we turn it on, it took longer, right? As expected, and it's used a little bit more memory. So, but we got better result, right? So just as we expected. So it's always a trade-off between the turnaround time and the result. So okay, so that's it for me. So Phil, but you have anything to
Yeah,
add?
I just added also command reference. So the two, one is user guide and the other one is more of the descriptions of all the commands. Sometimes you want visual instead of help star. So I added just for your information.
Okay, and for the student, any question before we log off?
Yeah, so quick comment. Based on today, I encouraged the student to actually review some of the concept that we discovered that we went over in placement and CTS, especially in regarding to timing concept, setup and hold, how to fix them, and skew, useful skew, and those things. Review those. You need to understand those. Those are fundamentals. You need to understand those in order to for the next class on advanced. You know, you need to understand the concept that so that you know how to go about fixing things. So PD, physical design is not a push button process. Okay, more time you're gonna run into issue, and then you have to understand the concept and go about fixing them manually. Sometimes you can't get the tool to fix them. You have to be able to fix them manually.
Yeah, it's important comments. As you can see, the office hours is meant also for reviews, but even with the 1 week like that, it's not going to be enough. So yeah, I think between now and then, taking advantage of maybe we don't have a lot of materials to cover for routing and exports, we will slowly review everything that you need to know from floor planning to placement to CTS along the way, like much like we did today, if it is okay with him. But to do that, the students need to go back and review all the materials. A lot of materials we cover for you. Unless you go back and review, yeah, you won't be able to ask questions along the way, and you will find you run out of time before you have to do the final project. So the more you review, by reading and then by asking questions between now and then, the better you are prepared for the finals.
So along that line, maybe we can pull up the pre-assessment and see where the student missed the most of those questions, or the one that then we can go over those. I think that we can use it as a guideline.
Yeah, but I'm afraid that might be too much. I prefer, yeah, that we go along and pick the most bang for the bucks, and it helps if the student asks questions. Otherwise, you won't be able to cover the remainder of the materials and also reviewing. There's a lot of materials to review if we
Right.
go that
I mean, not
route.
every questions, but just each of the assessment, the top 3 questions missed or something, or any question, or some of the questions student may not understand and can go back and ask. I don't mean for everything. Yeah, we don't have time for
Okay.
that.
Okay, let's coordinate with Tien because he need to cover his materials as
Sure.
well. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can work together, and then yeah, we have like a dedicated time for reviewing important subject, right? Previous one. So
Sounds good.
okay, so thank you everyone. See you on Friday, Vietnam, and then Thursday night, Austin. All right, thank you.
Yeah, TA, see you tomorrow.
Okay,
Don't
bye-bye.
forget our meeting, right? Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.